Ever heard about the orchard where people walk in and come out years later? It sounds like a ghost story until you realize how many lives it's destroyed. There's a stretch of farmland on the outskirts of Fairview County. Locals call it Hollow Orchard. Just a cluster of old apple trees. Nothing special from a distance. But people living around it know the orchard doesn't follow the same rules as the rest of the world. The first report happened in 1983. A farmhand named Lewis Carter walked into the orchard at noon. Bright sky, normal day. He was supposed to clear vines choking the southern fence. He didn't return for dinner. They searched for him. No tracks, no signs of a struggle. Just gone. 3 days later, Lewis walked out. Same clothes, same tool in his hand, same confused look. He swore he'd only been gone 10 minutes. But his wife, who'd spent those 3 days filing missing person reports, didn't recognize the man standing in front of her. He looked thinner. His beard had grown. His eyes were sunken, like he hadn't slept in weeks. But according to Lewis, he'd only blinked. The sheriff ruled it stress-induced confusion. Fairview residents called it a fluke. And for a while, people believed that. Until the incidents started stacking up. Kids chasing a lost dog into the trees. Hikers who took a wrong turn. A group of teenagers looking for a place to drink. Every story ended the same. They left for minutes, but came back to a world that moved without them. One woman, Elena Morris, vanished during a morning jog. Her watch said 7:14 a.m. She returned with the same watch, reading 7:18 a.m. But her husband was remarried. Her daughter was in college, and Elena hadn't aged a single day. By the 2000s, Hollow Orchard was fenced off, but fences don't stop curiosity. The missing person cases continued, small in number, but always the same pattern. No footprints, no struggle, just people seeing the orchard, stepping inside, and falling out of time. What made it worse were the stories the survivors told. Not just about losing time, but about what they saw inside. They described the orchard differently. Lewis said the trees were dead. Elena said the trees were blooming, even though it was November. A teenager claimed the apples were black, and each one hummed like a swarm of bees. Another swore the orchard wasn't even an orchard, just a tunnel of shifting light, like walking through the inside of a storm. Every account contradicted the last. The only constant was the feeling that something was watching, something that didn't move, didn't breathe, but waited. The town grew quiet about the orchard. Locals learned to drive the long way around, and kids were told never to go near the trees. But fear doesn't erase a place. And in 2017, the worst case yet happened. A documentary crew from out of state came in. They wanted to investigate the time slip rumors, chalk it up as paranormal entertainment. They set up cameras around the perimeter, interviewed locals, and entered the orchard one by one. They joked about it, laughed, treated it like a campfire adventure. 3 hours later, one of them stumbled out of the trees. Her name was Riley Pierce. Her hair had gone completely white. Her lips trembled like she'd been screaming for days. She shivered constantly, even though the weather was warm. She kept repeating one sentence: "We weren't supposed to see it." When they asked what she meant, her voice cracked. "It doesn't like being noticed." Authorities searched for the rest of the crew. They never found them. But they found the cameras. Melted, warped, like they'd been left in fire. The memory cards were intact, but empty. Not a single frame recorded. As if time itself refused to let anything be captured. Riley recovered enough to leave the hospital, but she couldn't remember her family, couldn't remember her childhood. It was as if her mind had been scraped clean and stitched back together wrong. She disappeared 2 months later. Her house left untouched. Her car parked in the garage. Front door wide open. No one found her footprints, except at the edge of Hollow Orchard. That was the last straw. The county tried to bulldoze the entire place, but the machines kept breaking. Workers complained of nausea and hearing whispers. One man swore he saw his own reflection watching him from inside an apple. They gave up. The orchard stayed. Today, people still report strange sightings around the fence. A figure standing between the trees. A shadow that doesn't match any person. Lights flickering like fireflies, but moving with purpose. And once, late at night, a passing driver claimed he saw a woman standing just inside the fence, whispering the current date over and over, like she was trying to memorize it. No one knows what Hollow Orchard is. A glitch in the world? A place where time folds? Or something older, hiding behind the disguise of apple trees? Whatever it is, it waits patiently. It doesn't lure, it doesn't chase. It simply exists. Quiet, hungry, timeless. And maybe that's the scariest part. You don't need to disturb it. You just need to step inside, and time decides what to do with you. So if you ever see an orchard that feels too still, where the air feels heavy, where every shadow points inward, walk away. Because some places don't steal your life. They steal your time and leave you wandering forever in the spaces between seconds. And in Hollow Orchard, time doesn't slip by, it swallows.